Hi y'all, it's me. I'm coming to you today with my very first design team project for Pro 31 Designs. You can find Pro 31 at Etsy and I will put a link down below for you. I was challenged this month with my first project because one of the other DT members for Pro 31 came up with the same idea that I was working on. So I had to nix that one and find something else to do. But anyway, that's the way it goes, great minds think alike. So anyhow, let me explain to you what I came up with. My project started out with a piece of wood. I had a 2x4 in our yard that we were going to toss out, and I thought, let me cut off a few chunks of it for something. I don't know what, but I figured, well, let me do it. So I cut them down to 8 inches long, and this is about 3.5 inches wide. And it's a 2x4. As I said, you can get them at Home Depot, or maybe you have one in your yard or whatever. So that's what my base was that I started with. And let me show you what I made. And please forgive my camera. I still haven't gone out to get my new one, so it's not going to be as clear as I'd like it to be, but you'll get the idea. And then as soon as I get a new camera, it'll all be good. So here we go. This is what I made. It's a freestanding, let me see, I'm going to have to slant it this way so you can see it. It's a freestanding photo frame, and I love it. I think it was a really nice use of that piece of wood. Before I get started on telling you the products I used and how I did this, I want to show you this picture because you say I've never shown myself. Well, there I am. This is me when I was a baby, so now you can't say you haven't seen me. Hi, y'all. Anyway, that's me. So let me get back to the project. The first thing I had to do was I had to cover the entire surface of the piece of wood, and I chose to use this burlap from Pro 31. So what I did was I adhered it down with just some regular glue, and I ended up, once it was glued down, I made sure to pay close attention that the edges were really down firmly, and then I just trimmed off the excess. So I did that around the front and the back. I left the bottom bare because it needs a flat surface to stand on. You don't want it to have things that make it tip. So just don't bother to cover the bottom, but just to the edge there. So once I did that, the next thing I wanted to do, I wanted to cover the sides of the frame. So to do that, I took the beautiful rosette ribbon trim, which is this, and I decided that I needed to have a strip of it, but I didn't want to have all this excess fabric here showing. So I went in and fine cut around each rose to make sure that I didn't have that. And it kind of was like this here. So I went in and cut all these little middle sections off to take that look away. So I went ahead and I adhered those down just again with a regular craft glue. I did not want the spaces in between the roses. Let's see if I can get up close here. There's space in between here. I didn't want the wood to show through there. So what I ended up doing, and instead of using a whole strip of this luscious mesh that you can get at Pro 31, I didn't want to use it all. I just wanted to use little pieces. So I cut little triangles to fill in all those blank spaces in between the rosettes and just adhered those down with craft glue. So that's the next thing I did. And then I went back and I used the flat back pearls in pink, and these happen to be 6mm, and that's what those look like, and they're 6mm. And remember, if you have your handy dandy little ruler tool that I told you about, you can just measure that out to see what size they are. So I went ahead and adhered those down next on either side of the rosette. And then I also went back and adhered the 4mm flat back pearls in white. And that's what those look like there. Again, you can get all of these products at Pro 31, and I'll put the link down below. It's an Etsy shop for those who are not aware. And next, once I did that part, let's see, I went back and I added the mesh up here, and up here I used the whole piece of mesh. And I also drilled a hole with my Fisker's drill and added this beautiful teardrop crystal gem that you can get. It's a chandelier long tier, and you can get that at Pro 31 as well. I just thought it was a nice little touch to the top of the block. And I went next and added my trims, flowers rather. These are the curly rose, mulberry curly rolled edge roses, and they're pink and white, and they're just lovely. They're one of my favorite flowers. So I love those. So I added a couple here, and then also tucked in are the porcelain roses in pink and white. They look like this right here, the pink and white porcelain roses. And then the big ones that I use, the curly roses, are these here. Lovely, just lovely. So I went ahead and glued those down, and I used some of the large leaves that you can find at Pro 31 here, and then I used large and small ones down here. I fussy cut this image and this one here out of the Graphic 45 Springtime Collection. They're the fairies. And I added some, what you call that stuff? My mind went blank. Uh, the little sticky, sparkly stuff. I forgot the name of it. Anyway, I added some sparkly stuff to there and to the wings. And I think it looks really beautiful in person. So you can actually decide to take this picture out and change it out from time to time if you'd like to do that. You're not stuck with the same picture, because I made sure to raise up those images on foam squares so that it would allow for the picture to go in and out. And then on the back side, I did the same thing. I also use these iridescent bead sprays, crystal sprays. I forgot to mention that. I have them scattered around. They're kind of hard to see on camera. That's why I forgot about them. But they're there right here. Gorgeous. And then on this side again, I used the flowers, the same leaves. And I just strategically placed them around so that you would be able to stick pictures here and pictures here and, take them out. This is just here for to show you it could be like a picture. And I made sure that I left the porcelain roses lifted up a bit so that the pictures could tuck behind so they wouldn't fall out. So what makes this really nice is when it's standing on your desk or wherever you decide to place it, you can have photographs all the way around. So there's my project. I hope you like it. As I said, I'll put the link to the Etsy store Pro 31 Designs down below. And please check out the store. It's got a lot of great goodies, a lot of new things being added all the time. And if you have any questions about this project or need some ideas, just shoot me an email and I'll be glad to help you out. Thanks for watching.